At the end of the day, you're talking about you look at football a different type of way. But at the end of every season, after all that glazing about we're amazing, you're the one saying 5 things we learned about Arsenal end of the season. Oh, we needed this, we needed that. This wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough. So if you keep seeing,
man, you know the point, bro. The whole point behind it is if we've fallen short,
let me land my point and you can speak. I'll mute your mic. Let me land my point and you can talk. Let me land my point. You're the one, after all this love fest for this manager, you're the one at the end of the season going, rah, we learned all these things about Arsenal, and all these things are the people that, Arsenal fans like myself, that you say it's not that deep. We are corrected. Why is it that you don't approach the next season saying, do you know what? We fell short in the squad. We fell short in having winners. We fell short in having world-class players. Why didn't we actually go out there and address that? We needed a striker. They didn't turn up in the crunch end of the season. Do you know what? Let's go and get that. Do you know what I'm saying? Why don't we go out and address that? But you continue to do the same thing as last season. Oh, we were scary last season. This is we're scary again. So, bro, what are you talking about? How can you see football differently if we keep not losing? We keep losing the league for the same reasons, bro.
We're getting worse as a side. We're getting worse as a side. So I mean, when I say we're getting scarier, it's because we are getting a better side, bro. If we were sitting 5th right now in the Europa League places, I'd be like, oh, I'm chatting shit. We're fighting for a title, G. We're fighting for a title. And we've not done that pre-Arteta for a long period of time. That's why I'm saying that. If I'm going over the top of my thumbnails and titles, bro, that's how YouTube works. You know how you said your job as an engineer, right? I'm sure there's certain things that you do as a job and your engineer stuff, right? That's specific to your job. To maximize my job, because this is my full-time job, you go a little bit over the top in titles and thumbnails. It's a very common game. Go watch any side of YouTube. That's how it works, bro. I'm not here sitting saying, oh, if I was to title my videos in a boring paragraph, it wouldn't get the numbers I get and it wouldn't be my job anymore, right? So you obviously do that type of stuff. And everyone knows that, by the way, as well. And you know that more than anyone. You're using my face in your thumbnail. My face, by the way. You said, oh, you're using Arteta for things. I'm using Nico Arteta. You're using Bhavs 14, bro. You're using me. Yeah? Just know you're using me, bro. So go and do your thing.
The same way that you use AFTV. What's the difference?
Whenever you use AFTV, thumbnail, go on, try find me one. Go on.
Did you not work for AFTV?
I used to work as an editor, when I needed a full-time job.
Okay, cool. So
how's that using AFTV?
You use their connections. So you didn't use their connections.
How is that using AFTV? By the way, go on. How is that using AFTV? So I used to work
as an editor on their channel.
So wait, when I left school at 18 and I wanted a job and I got offered a chance to work in the Arsenal YouTube space, is that a bad thing?
I never said it's a bad thing.
Yeah, so you're saying I used AFTV.
I used your word. You said I'm using you.
Yeah, and I have not used the last time I had Robbie in my thumbnails in 2020. Did you even have a channel in 2020? Probably not, right? So a long time ago. A long time ago. I've worked very hard to make my own name in the space. I don't want to hear nothing about because of AFTV and using people. Yeah, I've not used you in a thumbnail. I've not used Friend in the thumbnail. I've not used Robbie in the thumbnail since 2020 or Troops or DT, right? None of these guys. It's myself, bro. And if you don't want to respect that, it's your personal choice. Do you know what I mean? But clearly you do.
It is what it is. What I'm going to say is this. You're talking about, oh, we have to make it exciting. You don't need to sell your opinion down and go with the masses, which is exactly...
I'm not selling the opinion, bro. You're thinking that. That's what I'm trying to say, bro.
Or I'll meet you. Let me talk or I'll meet you.
Go for it.
Let me talk. Yeah, we'll talk. Let me talk or I'll meet you.
I'll meet you, bro. Go on. This is your channel, bro. Make sure you meet me. Go on.
Cool. You can get muted. Simple as that. It's my channel. So as I was saying, you can be as condescending as you want. Everybody can see through your crap because you've been doing it for enough years. That's the reality about it. You're saying about, I see football the way I see football. No, you see what's trending on Twitter and you go with the trend. That's exactly what it is. You're talking about me, about being an engineer. Yeah. I don't keep installing a boiler in the wrong way. That's called being stupid. Yeah. If I can see that it doesn't work, if I install a boiler upside down and it ain't turn it on, well, maybe I'm doing it wrong. If you keep talking about Arsenal are scary every season, and yet we're full short because we need a striker. And then you talk BS about, oh, but we got Kai Havertz, but we had him last season. Where did he get us over the line? Why are we talking about we needed a clinical striker, but then you're trying to move it as, oh, but he's performing now. Who cares? We've seen in Nketiah, when we needed to get top 4 against Spurs, and Nketiah was performing. Everyone's, oh, shush, where's your apologies for Nketiah? End of the season, we lost that top 4 to Spurs. Because Nketiah doesn't perform on a consistent basis.
Let me ask you a question.
You've seen for long enough. You've been doing this longer than me, yeah? Yes, some people do choose and decide to go with a certain narrative to get views. But at the end of the day, if you can see the betterment of your club, you need a striker, you need a proper bench. Why do that, bro? Why not stick to the reality of the situation?
One sec. It's only because we're better. It doesn't mean we have no room to improve. If that's the case, then I will stop doing any transfer videos going into the future. Obviously not. There's always room to improve. If we do a video tomorrow about Arsenal needing a new striker, it's because we can add that on top of what we already have. You don't have to always be, okay, if it hasn't worked, these man, you have to scrap them straight away. If this is Wenger's Arsenal in 2018 or 2017, I understand it. Or Emery's Arsenal as well. But Mikel's Arsenal is a lot better than those sides right now, right? A lot better than those sides. Come a long way as well. We're a lot closer to a title as well. I'm seeing the right direction personally. I know that you want to get over the line desperately, and that's perfectly fine. You know, we want to try. So do I. I want to win a title as well. I'm not going to people saying this year my goal is to get top 4. I'm saying my goal is to win a title. And I've said it on numerous channels as well that I want to win the title. And that's my goal for Mikel Arteta. So when you got your standards, bro. You got your standards. You got your standards.
When do you give him to win a title?
Let me ask you a question quickly. Let me ask you. No, but let me ask you a question.
When do you get? No, I'll ask you a question. When do you give him to win a title?
Let me ask you a question. I asked it first.
No. You're not. I asked you a question. So answer my question.
I'm trying to be nice and respectful here, bro.
I'm asking you a question.
Like I was in your DMs as well, personally, bro. All I'm saying, bro, is I want to ask you a nice little question.
No, you're not gonna ask because I asked you a question, and then
go on, ask me a question, bro. Let's make it a Q&A with Bhavs 14. Go on, change the title.
Do you expect this manager to get over the line to win the league? Why are you avoiding that question for? To ask
well, I expect him to go over the line this season. That's my expectation this season. Yes, to win the title this season. Is it loud and clear enough for you?
Okay, cool. And if he doesn't win it, then
if we fall short, and if it's down to him specifically, we can look to move him on. But if it's not down to him and certain things are out of the way, or we fall short by a point, we get 99 points. You know how context works, bro. Life isn't about black and white. You know that working in a real job as well, you know that it's a lot of grey area as well. If we end up 3rd, 4th, 5th, you sack him. If we're 2nd and we're a point off a title and Pep's maybe leaving at the end of the season, I ain't going to sack Mikel Arteta. Come on, let's be logical for a second. And cool.
What do you mean, let's be logical as if he's the best
Because if we're that close as it is, and we're getting closer and closer every single year, do you not expect us to eventually get over the line?
No, I don't. No, I don't. Because he keeps making the same mistakes. Okay, let me answer that. Let me answer exactly what you just said. You asked me a question. No, I don't. Do you know why? Because when I keep seeing someone making the same mistakes, I have no faith in them. It's not like this is year one.
Tell me what the mistakes are.
The same mistakes is getting Zinchenko and then go and get Calafiori that's playing in a very similar role, which is an inverted left back. Another one is going and getting Kai Havertz that isn't clinical, just like Jesus isn't clinical. That's making the same mistake. Going out there and buying young players and not developing them, and they're not actually good enough. I.e., Lokonga, Fabio Vieira. Going out there and spending money on Kivior, and then we're hearing reports that you're looking to get rid of him. Going through a bunch of goalkeepers to get to the right goalkeeper. You keep making the same mistakes. How is it that when this manager took over this squad, we had a toxic squad? Within that, we had a really bad bench. 5 years on, we really got a really bad bench.
We've got a really bad bench right now.
Yeah, we do. And I'll explain that why. We've got a lot of rotation in defensive areas. What about the midfield? What about the midfield? When I say about the midfield,
Moreno?
No, hold on. We've got Moreno, yes. With Moreno is a lot more similar to a Declan Rice in terms of a sitting DM than he is someone like a Thomas Partey, which is why we were looking at Bruno Guimaraes. We didn't get Bruno Guimaraes. So we don't have somebody to rotate with. We're looking at Bruno Guimaraes. We didn't get Bruno Guimaraes. So we don't have somebody to rotate with Partey to do his job. Then you look at Odegaard, you've got Ethan. That is a player that has potential, but we don't know his level yet, which is why I want him to get more games. I want to see his potential because he's the second choice. Decision made by the goalkeeper, the manager. You look at the left-hand side, you've got Martinelli and you've got Trossard. That's good rotation quality. But then when you look at Saka, don't tell me that Sterling's good enough. Not only his numbers have been declining in the last 3 years, his performances have been declining in the last 3 years. This is not a player that we wanted. Then you look at the striker option. You've got Havertz, that isn't a clinical goal scorer, backed up by Jesus, that is not a clinical goal scorer and gets injured at the end of every season in the last couple of seasons. How is that good rotation? It's not good rotation. The defense has good rotation.
It's not perfect rotation. You want perfect. That's what you want. You want perfect rotation. You want Vinicius Junior behind Bukayo Saka. You want Kylian Mbappe behind Kai Havertz. You want Rodri behind Rice. That's what you want. Let's be real. You want you're playing FIFA.
I never said what I want.
Let me ask you right now a question as well. You talk about perfect rotation. Who's the best side in the league right now? Who's the best side in the league right now? Who's the best side in the league?
Don't put words in my mouth. No, don't put.
Who's the best side of the league right now? I'm asking you a question.
Hold on.
Who's the best? You don't answer it. Fair enough, man. Go on.
Don't put words in my mouth because I never.
Who's the best side in the league right now? Man City, right? Who've they got behind Rodri? Who've they got behind Rodri?
You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. I did not say that. So don't put words in my
mouth. Man can unmute whenever I want. You realize that,
You want to ask me about who I wanted in the squad.
You can do all that you want.
We could have had Dovbyk for 40 mil. That's a striker that can score goals. Then we could have went and got Sergio. We could have got Conceição. And I'm Portuguese and I watch that league. I know he's good enough. We could have went and got Pedro Neto. Both of them are better than Sterling. We could have went and got Danny Olmo, which Barcelona took a long time to get him over the line because they had a loophole in La Liga to get him over the line. These are not players you have to break the bank to go and get. So don't tell me and try to be doing a condescending thing about, oh, this guy wants Vinicius. There's better players. There's good players out there.
Have our depth improved the last 3 years? Has it improved over the last 3 years? Has our depth improved over the last 3 years?
No, it's got worse.
It's gotten worse. So 3 years ago, if you can get me an Arsenal lineup right now and show me the bench, you're thinking the bench there is worse or better than it is now.
Yeah, because we got players.
I'll
explain to you. You look at our midfield, we got less options. We got less options because this manager's left us short for this season.
Okay.
Fabi Vieira's out on loan. Lokonga's out on loan. Both players, yeah, let's be real, ain't doing anything. They weren't really playing them last season, yeah? And they're not even here and available for this squad. Then you're looking at the striker option. We've got Kai Havertz and Jesus. Much of a muchness. We've improved with Trossard, but then on the right wing, we've got Sterling. This guy's here for the cups. Nobody's going to tell me Starboy goes on the bench over Sterling.
No, is Sterling better than Nelson?
That's not the level. Nelson was never good enough for Arsenal Football Club.
No, so you're saying he was on the bench 3 years ago, though. You said our bench has got worse. So I'm comparing a player.
It's not balanced. It's not balanced.
But you just said it worse.
It's not balanced.
Did you not
we
say
have
worse?
no options. We have barely any options apart from Miko Moreno, Jorginho. Nobody's even talking about Jorginho. You have no options. You don't have the options in the midfield, and you don't have any options in the attacking areas. Barring Trossard is the only one that we look at and say, yo, he can break into the team.
Listen, I get it, bro. You have certain players that you rate and you don't rate. You rate Trossard, you rate Marino. Fair enough, man. But to say that our bench has gotten worse over the last 3 years is disingenuous. Because if you look at the quality then to the quality now, it's better. Is it perfect? I don't think it's perfect either. I'd love to have like a Saka, and I'd love to have better players as well. But you might not rate Jorginho. I personally do. You know, I think he has a squad player, but he's perfectly fine. He's better than when he was 3 years ago. You know, so he's headed